And you're just in time for Richard Mwenja exclusive. Such an honor to have your company with us at a time when you have so much to discuss in the world of politics and governance. But let me bring on board Professor Herman Manyora. He's going to help me bring the day's conversation home. How are you doing today, Professor?
I'm good.
Looking sharp, a red tie.
Thank you.
What's the occasion, though?
No, it's just cold.
Hey.
You use a tie when it is cold to block the cold from getting the chest.
Now that there's absence of coffee in our table.
Yes.
All right, that of the way, sir. The president, while attending a church service in Quisero a few days ago, has called for leaders to put an end to politics. And there's a section who believes the president himself needs to walk that talk fast because they believe he's already on premature campaigns. Yes. Is it the same from your lenses?
Of course.
But from the side...
The president started campaigning on the first day when he was being sworn in.
The conversation in town is that for people like you, maybe you're getting it wrong because the president argues that he's there on the grassroots level because of development tours.
Why are we getting it wrong? We didn't even say it's bad. Did I say it is bad? Did I say it's bad? To campaign after election, it's not bad. Yeah.
But then that comes in the way of really focusing on the agenda part of it.
But politics and development are one side of the same coin.
One side of the same
coin. Two sides of the same coin. You cannot separate politics from development.
Why then would the president accuse the former DP Rigathi Gachagua? Because he did so while attending the same church service, saying it is Gachagua's derailing government agenda by starting politicking way early before 2027.
Ruto started before Gachagua. And if anything, Gachagua must have taken the cue from the president. So he was a good deputy.
Hi, welcome to High-Peak School. My school, a reputable institution, an epitome of learning. It offers high-quality education.
Ithibati.
A standard library with pleasant environment for reading. An art club, a home science club, a computer club with vicious lessons. Our fully equipped laboratory is top-notch, with standard 2 in core curricular activities: swimming, karate, table tennis, netball, basketball, volleyball, just to mention but a few.
To enroll your child, contact us through 0728 040 883 or 0770 587 921. High-Peak Schools, quest for excellence.
So for how long?
You saw the president on top of the car, campaigning on the sunroof. Then Gachagua followed suit. Hata Gachagua alikuwa hajaingia juu ya gari. Alikuwa bado kwa kanisa na kwa mazishi. Ruto alikuwa kwa sunroof ya gari akikampaign. So Gachagua was just being a good deputy to follow in the footsteps of your boss.
Prof, I'm curious to understand. So then, now that we're seeing blame games still coming on board, how far can the president run with these blame games? Because the failures on his government 2 years now are being put at the doorstep of Rigathi Gachagua. Can he run with this?
No, it doesn't wash.
Why?
How can you blame Gachagua for anything that's wrong in the government? You can't.
For not really carrying the vision to term, the vision of the president.
Ruto was blaming Uhuru because Uhuru was the president. That was, it made sense. When the deputy, who was Ruto, was saying, we would have done a lot more. Our 4 agenda was derailed by the handshake, by BBI. That made sense to Kenyans. But how can he now try to blame Gachagua? Who was Gachagua? When people ask Ruto, why are you blaming Uhuru and you are together? Say, no, me, I'm just the deputy. So how now can he as president blame? And he thinks people can forget so far. I know we forget, but not this fast.
So is the president underrating social and public intelligence by making such accusations?
Not necessarily so. When you are in power, sometimes you get a bit of heat and you speak out of turn. Sometimes you even get confused. Sometimes you listen to people around you, then you echo what they were saying in public.
So I'm curious to understand then, Prof, is this kind of politics sustainable whereby you ushered into office, a few days later you now on the campaign trail strategizing for the next election? Can this really make us that Singapore of Africa that we are envisioning as a country?
That is not Africa. Which Africa? Nothing. We cannot save Africa, leave alone develop Africa. Save Africa. You need to save Africa first. We cannot save Africa. with this kind of cheap politics across the continent. Yeah.
So what can it take for us to get that one man or woman at the top who can have such kind of thinking? Like,
I think it's very unfortunate, but it does appear to me that revolutions might be the way out for Africa. If what is going on in the Sahel region, the Burkina Faso and Mali, Niger, you can see the revolution, the sort of change in mindset, less reliance on the former colonial masters and very radical programs. That might be the way to go. But the question then remains, can we in the 21st century wake up one day and hear we are under military rule? How will it sound? It will sound so backwards.
But
that's so foolish. How can we, I mean, I'm not saying Kenya, but I'm just saying when any country in the world today, in the 21st century, travels the path which primitive society countries were traveling in the 1960s, Kwamuga to military coup, how can we go through that again? I mean, I even feel for these people in the Sahel region.
Primitive is the word.
And the captain now with a gun here is your president. How? How? Walking, macho. Sometimes with a pistol here, another one here.
They believe they're agents of
with a jeep, with the scaries on top. No, come on. We can't go in that direction. But that is what we are inviting.
Even as Kenya as a country, we could be on that path.
I'm speaking generally about Africa.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know where Kenya is. Is it in Africa?
It is.
Yeah, generally. Because people are admiring what is happening in Burkina Faso. Are they not admiring? You are on social media. People say that's great. Niger, that's great. They have been able to tell off the French. Can we tell off Americans and the British and anybody else? But I'm thinking, we've been lucky enough and we can continue being lucky. It is possible we can have our own peaceful revolutions where the citizens focus on something until the government listens to them. Enough pressure on government, and then the government listens, and then we make those incremental steps. It may take longer, but it will be peaceful, civil, and the best thing to do in the 21st century. You achieve change through some orderly way. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Prof, this far, would you say that the president has harnessed the potential of public mood to inform his agenda for Kenya this far?
I think, unfortunately, the president, for whatever reason, I've always told you the president could know what we don't know. The president has chosen to ignore what the majority of the country is saying. Maybe he's doing for the good of the country. We have to wait and see. So far, there's no evidence.
Need for us to grant him the grace of time?
It doesn't seem to be convincing. That's not convincing.
It's not convincing.
Yes. But since we have no power to change it, let's wait and see.
Going forward, very lastly, sir, would you then advise the president probably to tone down on promises? Because the accusation on board is that why promise in the first place if you're not going to deliver?
But that is his style.
Promise after the other?
That is his style. And the president is not a foolish man. This man is also clever and he has read things. He understands. He has read a few of these books about leadership and he understands. Sometimes you do this and it works.
Yes, as the father of the nation, you have a role to inspire and profile a sense of hope. But then again, where do you draw the line between putting out there false hope and hope that is feasible?
You know, I've told you the president, we think he's not listening to us. We think he's ignoring us. We feel the president is not working in our interests. But the president has told us, when these things mature, when these programs come to maturity, we will all be celebrating and looking for him to shake his hand.
His plan.
Yeah, and have said, let's give him, let's wait. We cannot, if it was in our power, we could not grant him that time. But since it's not in our power, he has the time anyway. So ours is to wait and see.
Our hands are tied.
We want the pleasant surprise from the president. We want to wake up and find there are no jobless Kenyans. I want to wake up one day and hear from the shores of Lake Victoria to the beaches of the Indian Ocean.
Kilifi,
Yeah, the way people say these things, from like Turkana due to where, that mothers go and deliver peacefully in government facilities, and they live there peacefully.
At zero cost?
Yeah, no, whatever it will be, but well done. We want to hear cancer patients are not having to sell everything they have. And by the time they are dying, even money to bury them is not there. I want to hear the government has taken care of all kidney patients, all cancer patients. I want to hear the children in our schools are happy. They are singing during break. They have taken some porridge because there's a nice school feeding program. I want to hear university students just happy. When I go to a lecture room, if I'm there, I want to see full. My 400 students, all of them are there because they have not gone to look for survival. Because government has taken care of the government, the society, and the country is working so well, the economy is so well, that parents are able to take care of their children when they are at the university. The work they do is just go and study. Sio kutafuta sukuma wiki na nini ya kupika. So I also want to be surprised by the president, like many other Kenyans. You get it?
You're dreaming too big, Prof.
No, but the president has promised us, and I want to believe the president. I don't have any reason to doubt the president. Do you want to doubt the president?
I cannot.
And we have been told in basic education, basic study, that eyes can be deceiving. That if you rely on your eyes and other senses, you remember that, eh?
Yeah, sure.
You remember the experiment with a ruler in a glass of water. It looks broken and bent. But when you remove it,
still straight and intact.
And many other examples we were given. So the senses and basic and perception can mislead you. So we want to believe we are in that process of not believing the president, but that the president can still surprise us.
I never saw that coming from Professor Herman Manyora, but that has been our conversation today on Richard Mwenja Exclusive, discussing an array of issues in the world of politics and governance. We wait to see you on our next edition. Engage me at Mwenja Richard on X, and on TikTok, get Professor Manyora at H Manyora on X. Keep the conversation going. Until then, do enjoy the rest of your viewing.